Yeah. And good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. Thank you for coming. We have a little technical problem. Kristy, she's going to be here with us about 5 minutes. We are going to start to talk first to say hello to Hella. She's going to be moderating today. Thank you for everybody who's going to come. I think in 5 minutes we're going to start. And first of all, we're going to talk what is going to happen in the next days here. Hello, Hella. How are you?
Hello, Nelson. I'm very well. How about you?
Yeah, I'm fine. We are waiting for Miller, and I think for everybody who is there, I'm just going to show you direct. If you want, we're going to leave the link there. That is Facebook, the Instagram, and I think there is some videos we're going to show from Bart Miller. That is his man, and we have to wait. But first of all, tonight we're going to have Jens. Is one of the riders, and he working for BioBoard. He's going to come tonight in 9 o'clock to talk a little more about him. And tomorrow, we're going to have a nice interview here in Germany. Hella can talk a little about that. I think that is a very interesting thing because here in Germany we are illegal. What is going to be from interview? And don't forget, Mondays is always in German interview.
Yeah, so tomorrow we're gonna have that German episode of electric talk, and we will have a conversation about the demonstrations that are going on in Hamburg and Herdecke as well. So the first one's gonna be next week in Hamburg. Sasha is going to have that one. He organized it, and he's totally going to talk about it. And then we also have the one in May 8th, which is organized by Yannick, or his nickname Jocke. It will be in Herdecke. I'm super excited about that one, actually, because this will be my first demonstration that I attend to. So I really hope the German government is not going to forbid them or anything. Since COVID is pretty crazy around here, there are really strict regulations. So I still hope we can go there and have that demonstration. And yeah, it's super important to have those because we are still illegal in Germany. We cannot go on public streets or anywhere else. And we are really fighting in many ways to get this legalized. Riding either Onewheels or any e-skate, longboards, or whatsoever, because we really feel like this is an important tool to do. And we want to be legal. We want to be, just regular members of the streets, So we're not some crazy people who want to do stunts on the streets. We just want to commute, you know, like, since the streets here in the cities are so packed and you barely have the chance to find a parking spot anywhere. So we really need it as a tool to get to work or wherever. So it's important to fight for it in
Yeah, I
as
think
many
it's
ways as
important for.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have a chance, if you live in Germany, if you are close to Germany, far from other countries close to Germany, and you have the chance to come and help us and support in coming to the live, there's a live demo that will be very important for all of us. I'm sure. And the Miller, she is going to come about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm speaking because I think she has a technical problem, and I think that everything is going to be good. And then, as always, I tell to all of you, we're going to have another interviews here this month, and one of them is going to be the Andy. Is going to come Tuesday, Andy is the ambassador from UK from Involve, and then in 2 days later we're going to have the Ernesto from Kelly Boards. He's going to show us a little more about his new board. And then in Sunday we're going to have Zeze is the guy from escapes from he has one of the groups who bring all the scooters around from the round world. Is going to come here, and of course no, I'm sorry, not Zeze is going to come. The oh, I make a mistake. Is going to come first of all. Is going to come Vanessa in the morning next Sunday. She is a one wheel rider. This month we are doing one wheel ladies rides. Everything next month is going to be a skate riders, girls. Then we're going to see how many times she's going to take to come here. I can show you some videos from her. I hope that she's going to come very soon. She's very active rider. Here we can see a little from her skills.
That's crazy, you know. I never tried this because I'm way too scared that I would fall all the way down.
She
Yeah,
can
only have
ride
that
very good.
very limited space to roll on, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, really?
And if you see his doctor is very good, very skilled. She is riding with the pint, and
Awesome.
she is always together with Papa and Mama riding. And you see, she,
Amazing. I love that.
yeah, that's the important. All the family, I think the three of them, they ride very good. Here is the Band is a very good rider,
Uh-huh.
and they ride trails a lot. And then I have some videos. Then I'm going to show it later when she come. I want to. I think this video for the guys who has one wheel is fantastic.
Yes, it's been in the movie. I've seen
Yeah,
it. So awesome.
yeah.
What
Sorry,
was the movie's name?
I don't know, but I don't give it. This is two crazy guys, and that is. I think that was a very good, good for the one wheels. That was the V
Right?
one. That was the
Right?
V one.
Yeah.
I hope that she comes, but guys, for everybody's there, that is a lady. Is going to take time. She's going to put everything.
Need to freshen up, make herself perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to come in the interview. I have to be prepared and everything, but she's going to come. Give us just a little more time. I think she's going to be here in maybe 2 3 minutes. I hope. And Hella, do you think for you in your way, do you think the one wheel is growing very fast in a moment? What is your opinion about that? About
Well, yeah, I kind of see that the community is growing and especially more and more connecting. Like, I realized it when I traveled back to my parents' place a couple of weeks back. So I just randomly looked up in the app if there are other people, and of course I found someone who would ride with me, and that's something special about the one way community. And I think that's why it's also growing. Plus, there's a lot of people who are super interested once I pass by them, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what is this? Please explain more about it."
Mhm.
So maybe you talk about it with like 10 different people, 9 of them would be like, "Okay, it's nice to see, but I'm never gonna hop on one." But then the 10th person, is going on the board and is trying it and is instantly in love kind of thing. So yeah, you get that at some
Yeah,
point they gotta grow.
I just want to say, I see now there is the grip tape, dope grip tape from Matthias here in Germany. The dope grip is going to start to do grip tape for one wheels. If you guys want to try it, I try it. It's very good. I think in the next months, maybe you can tell us. Maybe they're going to do a very, very nice grip tape for all of us. I think it's going to be finished in 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe 1 month. Maybe you can tell us so how much time is going to take. Then we
Mhm.
have here the Court Secret. Hello from Australia. Oh, good evening. For you guys, is good evening. For us, is good morning, good afternoon. But for you guys, is good evening. I see that yesterday was a fantastic event, electro event in Australia. If I don't know if he was there or not, but that was a fantastic. That was Sandra sent me some pictures, and I think that was a fantastic event with lots of person riding, and that is very
Awesome.
good to see everybody riding together. And let me
Yeah.
see here. I want to find something because I want to buy. And tell us if you guys have questions for us in a moment. We are waiting. I think she's going to take some minutes. You can ask us. I'm going to put something here because I think we can talk about that too. Uh, and
Oh, look.
I just want to see here something. Okay, I don't have it here. Oh, that is not good.
Someone's at the door.
Yeah, someone is in the door. He's bringing my doctor home. Let
Ah.
me see. Yes. Let me see if I have it here. I want to show here something from yesterday, but I have to find it. Green.
Hello,
Oh.
everybody out there. Nice
For
you're
everybody.
here.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Yeah, that was Sandra.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, he's talking about Sandra. I was there with Sandra. Yeah, I see the pictures, and that was a fantastic. I'm going to try to show a little more about yesterday because I think that was a fantastic. And Sandra is always doing so many crazy things for you. Today, Australia is coming big every day because of this fantastic girl. She do so many things for the guys in Australia. We cannot forget it. And I think that is always very important for us to show it. I want to, but I'm going to do it like this. It's better. I'm going to show it like this, and it's going to be easy. Let's go to Instagram because she's always in Instagram. Let me see if I find it something. Hey guys, give us just a minute because we are waiting for her to come. She's a little late. Okay, let's start it now. That is from Sandra yesterday. Let's see it. That was the event yesterday. Always with friends, always with having some good time. She makes lots of photos with everybody. I think,
Awesome. Oh, looks like a lot of fun.
yeah, that was a big group ride, and everybody was
Nice.
there. And she takes pictures with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is always there. I don't know. Here is the group from yesterday. That is lots of persons
Wow.
together.
Okay. This is a really big crowd right there.
That is lots of
Awesome.
persons. Let me show you. I think I have more pictures from there because she. No, that is just now eating something. But she's always doing lots of things.
A
She
very active
loves and
person.
very active persons. If you see here with another person's
Mm-hmm.
riding, she is great. She doing lots of things for and she ride every day. Huh? She
Every day.
rides.
Wow. Okay.
I think maybe 90%.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. Then we have here. Hello, my friend from UK. How are you? Thank you for coming. We are waiting here. I hope that she comes very soon. We are waiting, the two of us. That's right, Nelson. Yeah, and okay. Then the dope grip for one wheel is going to be to 1 to 2 months finish if everything is all right. I hope we are waiting, everybody. Then City and Newcastle crew representative. Haha, yes. I know that in some parts of Australia now is legal to ride. Not all the places is you are allowed to ride, but that is a good thing that now in some parts from Australia you can ride it. It's very sad that not in all the places. We hope that she comes very soon because we have to do something here. Uh, yeah, that is like we are going crazy here because it's taking so much time.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I just want to say something to you guys. What I want to show. Oh, when we come here to the, I just want to show it here. It's like this. We are coming close to the 1,000 subscribers. In a 1,000 subscribers, we're going to give the 1,000 the new SL 1000 from Shrek Lights is going to be from one of you guys who are subscribed to the channel. Uh, then don't forget, and I want to show something here for you guys. And next 25, we're going to have a very special team here, and this team of riders is going to be 6 riders, and there is the persons who are going to be in a live. We're going to give a giveaway for one T-shirt from the SRB race team. They're going to come, all of them, and they send me a T-shirt. And one of you guys in this day who come to the live, I'm going to give the T-shirts what they send it to me. Then don't forget, in 25 is going to be 25 or 4 is going to be the interview with the 6. I think one of the team complete, that is going to be Dave, Brandon, Mario, Mo, Brad, and all of them, and Jason. They are the 6 best riders from the team. And if you have the chance, please come and enjoy it. Oh, there is one very special person from Germany. Hello, my friend. That is Bjorn. How are you? I hope that everybody is okay. Then we have Grip Tape. I love the international and the live streams. Thank you very much. North Carolina.
North
Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah, they are there. Hello, hello. And Sydney is still
Like
cities
Germany.
still like Germany. Yes, we are fighting for freedom to ride. Yes, but you're going to get it maybe faster than us. I hope. I hope that we going to be faster than you guys. It's going to be very important for all of us.
Yeah, but that's also a part, like, it's interesting to see that other countries or other cities are still fighting for their freedom like we are. And we had, like, at the beginning of this month, we had a really amazing talk going on with, like, people from the USA, from Australia, Belgium, Netherlands, Austria. It was a really nice talk, and we had a really good time, discussed a lot of stuff, and you can totally tune in that show. It was really good. It's totally worth watching it. And I think the bigger the crowd gets all over the world, the better it is. The better we have the chance to really fight for something. So yeah, we want us to be heard, to be seen, and together we can do it.
Okay, and I want to just say to everybody there who's going to come to the channel every day now, 8 o'clock of the morning from Paris time, we have always a small video of 20 seconds, 1 minute, 25 seconds, and from all of you riders around the world, every day to end of the year is planned to be every day a small video. Every day, if you come up 8 o'clock, it's going to be a video. That is one of them was out about some days. That is a very short video, just showing the guys from the lacrosse riding in USA, how these machines works. And then some days you're going to have, like here in Europe, that was an event from us here. We make it, all of us together. And that is the guys riding here from Germany. That is Atox and Bjorn having and Rene. It was having a little fun. And there is lots of videos you can find there. That is one of the demos. That is with Ignar. That is one of the best one-wheel riders here in Germany and very active. That is one of his video in a demo from Berlin from last year. We bring all the videos from you guys in a group here, because that this no limits to ride electric is for all the riders around the world, and we bring some small videos from you guys to show that the community is very big. If you come every if I recommend everybody to see this guys from Holland who make a demo in Netherlands. And you see I was raining and nobody goes home, and this guy was screaming all the time. That is Yen, that is last, and he's springing and giving motivation for everybody to not stop. That was around 250 riders there, and look how it's raining and everybody stayed there to put this demo alive. And today they are going in a good direction to be legal, and that is the spirit. Go there. There is lots of videos. There is lots of information for you guys. Every day, 8 o'clock, you're going to have a new video. If you have a video you want to send us, you can send us. We have from everybody there. There is lots of videos program. If you come here, you're going to see lots of videos going to come out. There is other videos of group rides that you can all see, that everybody is riding. That is a group from Stuttgart. That is from Michael. And they put this, they send me lots of videos too, and we're going to put from everybody. Not big videos, is videos till 1 minute or maximal 2 minutes. We can put it, not bigger. If you have
Just
something for us, just send us.
Yeah, and just make sure nothing too crazy. Always wear a helmet, always wear protection. Like, this is really important for us on this channel. We really want to show like that we're responsible riders and don't make something too crazy or that would give other people a bad idea of us. So here we
Hello.
are. Hi.
Hi.
Give me just a second so to explain for you, every guy, every one of you are out there, please subscribe to the channel. That is very important. We have to come to 1,000 subscribers. Because of this moment you have at 1,000 subscribers, we can work just only with the YouTube, not with other companies, and we can make lives all the time. And that is one of our intentions, is to start to make lives, interviews direct to the riders. If you have a chance, please help us, support us. We are going to go close to 700 persons, and in 2 months 700 persons is very good for the community. And now we're going to have here a very special person, and she she is was with a little technical problems, but she's here, and we're going to hello, how are
Hey
you?
guys.
Good
Hi.
morning.
How are you?
And up this moment the interview is going to be with Hella and with Kristy, and I'm going to be in the back showing photos and videos and everything. Have a good time, enjoy it, and let's go.
Thank
Yay.
you.
So,
Hey, how's it going?
Grace, good. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Perfect. That sounds good. So tell me, who are you and how did you get into one wheeling?
My name is Kristy Miller, as you guys know, and I am from Macon, Georgia, and I live here in Tallahassee now. I moved here about 7 to 8 years ago, and I've been wheeling since 2018. And I started off just going very slow, and then now I feel like my level has, gained a lot. So over that time.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of pictures, like you're riding on one of a very small rail. I'm like, okay, this is really impressive. I would never do that myself. I'm too scared just to fall off, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, who how did you get into it? Like, who made you try it at all?
Well, we have a good friend. His name is Ryan Witz, and he actually has a little Onewheel shop, and it's called Witz Wheel, and he does repairs and if they people like to have like aftermarket parts on their boards and everything. But so back in 2018, he had the Onewheel, and he's like, "You guys gotta try it." And I've never had any experience like on any type of boards previously before that. But I do like to ski, water ski, snow ski, but I had never tried skateboarding or snowboarding or anything. So. Um, but I don't know. I think like having my husband as well around, he is a little daredevil. So like I'm like, he does it, I can do it, kind of thing. So that pushes me out of my like comfort zone, and as well as like doing the rails and riding even the trails. Like some of the stuff is really challenging. So
Okay, that's cool. So, are you going with your husband a lot, or are you going in group rides? What is it like? What do you prefer?
I do ride alone a lot, and are there with my husband in the evening. We have a little bit of land, so we'll ride on the trails that we've made out here. But sometimes practicing on other trails are very helpful. I find riding in groups can push you again, like outside of your comfort zone, to where typically you'd ride at a certain pace. But when you're riding with a group of people, you can you push yourself to keep up with them, or you see them do that, and so it encourages you. But we were one of the first people here in Tallahassee, Florida, to have wind wheels. So we kind of the leaders of the community when it comes to like where do we go, what kind of parts do we get, what's the best products, things like that, and
Yeah.
but in Atlanta, which is about 6 hours away from here in Georgia, there's a lot of riders. There's a big group called the Float Aliens, and they have big group rides every week. They said there's a new rider every week. So I'm glad to see our community here in Tallahassee growing.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome. Yeah, I totally enjoy it to go in
Do you ride
groups.
one well?
And yeah, I have a pine myself, so I love that very much, and I totally love going in big groups. It's like you said, it
Feeling
gives
it's
you
like
so much more comfort.
memory.
Yeah, so cool. Do you also practice kind of like tricks or something, or are you just riding on trails and stuff?
I do try to practice the tricks. I think having some of the great riders. One of the riders who helped me learn the varial, like doing a little jump where you just twist. Her name is Rachel Cecil, and she's a great rider. She's as well and lives in Atlanta, Georgia. But she is one of the top female riders in the community here, and I am so inspired by her. So my husband tried to teach me to do some tricks, and over a year's time, like I just can't do it. And maybe the way he's telling me to do it, but I was with her for 5 minutes and got it like that, just watching her do it and the way she talked me through it and everything was really helpful. Like having someone, this like a veteran rider
Yeah,
or a pro rider to kind of guide me and teach me a little bit. So but I like
yeah.
doing tricks.
Isn't
I'm not sure just trail ride and just keep it on the trails.
Yeah, isn't there like a big event once a year that Rachel organizes for other women to like to ride together and to teach and stuff?
It's the female writers. I'm trying to remember the name. It's actually this June coming up, or no, it's actually July, the second week in July, and it's just for females, and so it's like a clinic where they can teach the tricks and just bonding as well. So having like the female writers together, and I hope to make it to this one this year. There's actually another One Wheel event that same weekend, and it's crazy how many events you see popping up in different areas. And
Right? Yeah. So you feel like the community is growing?
yeah, absolutely. It is growing, but and as it grows, I think like teaching people, not necessarily even teaching them, but encouraging them to have like the respect for the trails as if they were just walking on the trails or with their dogs or on their bicycles, being cautious and being aware. And, I think that everyone's pushing that to not lose those rights to be able to ride on the trails. And I see you showing this video of me like in my high heels.
Right.
Being silly, because I get home from work one day and he's like, you can't do it. I was like, I've seen someone do it before. I can do it.
That is a very
Yeah.
good. That is a very good.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm impressed like doing that in heels. You did that. Wow.
I
Okay.
think it's like the ankle strength over time, like my ankles. I actually rode an XR first, but then my husband bought the XR, so we kind of shared the board a little bit, and then we purchased a pint, and then we had to wait like about 3 months to get it because it was like a pre-order thing. And once we received
Hmm.
it, I loved it. I had so much fun on it, but a lot of times all of the guys would just dust me and leave me, and because the board is just a little bit slower, it doesn't have the power to get through things.
Yeah.
Also, I was still a new rider, but I still have the pint and I love riding it, but it's very nimble and it causes you to gain that ankle strength that you may have with the XR, but it's just so nimble. It's just different. The tire is smaller and everything.
Yes.
But I like the XR, so I ended up getting an XR. So now I have XR and a bike.
Yeah, that's the perfect combination. I totally feel you. Whenever I go on group rides, I'm like the last person because my pine is not having the kind of speed like in XR, but it's also very wobbly and stuff, you know. So, but if you have both an XR and a pine, you get
One
like the
for both
perfect
worlds.
combination.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I always tell people that. I'm like, 'cause sometimes with the Pine's good for the city. Like if I'm would park in a parking deck and have a long way to walk, a couple blocks to walk, I can just jump on the Pine and then just carry it in kind of discreetly with me. But with the XR, it's a little bigger, a little bulkier, you know, a little heavier, and it's
Yeah.
to me better for the trails. And it has like the treaded tire on it, where my Pine still has that original slick tire on it, which
Ah,
is
okay.
to me better for the street. And also if you're doing tricks, and I've learned that as well, like trying to just twist the board around and move it around. Like when you have that treaded tire on the pavement, it just doesn't twist and turn like it would, you know, with the Pine or with the, I think it's the Vega tire, which is what the XR comes on.
Yeah, true. Do you motivate are you working on your board yourself or do you have someone to do that? Like do you do tire changes or anything different?
Well, I try to always assist with it because I'm so interested in knowing like how this thing works. I want to know the ins and the outs, and when they do take it apart, I want to be right there with it and try to help. And to know that I also could do it by myself, but typically I have my husband help me a lot, and his friend Ryan. He has like I recently had problems with my board, and it kept having an error where it would on the app it would say error 16, and the tail would just drop back. And so when you're riding, you know, instead of the nose dropping, the tail would drag, and it's something to do with the controller, but there was like a little piece within the computer that was broken, and Ryan has another gentleman that works with him who was able to, I believe, solder that piece back on there, and they fixed it up and it's working. You know, like before the board wasn't working. So I was out for about a month without that XR, but I have people working on it, but hopefully I'll be able to do it by myself one day. You know, like I've done like the rail changes, like when we do the rail guards and when we change the foot pads, I've done that, but the tire change is kind of challenging.
Yeah. So I recently bought a tire for my Pine and I felt like, okay, I really need to change that now. But I realized, oh my gosh, it's so much work. You totally have to rip the entire thing apart. And I'm so scared to do it by myself. Would you do it?
I think I could do it because there's a lot of tutorials out there. I know like the Float Life,
Hmm.
they have some good tutorials on how to do it, and maybe you have like pause the camera and then take it apart. I think I could do it. You know, that's a good like maybe I should just try it one day, see, you know, like record it, see how long it takes, and if I can
Yeah.
actually get it off and everything.
Yeah.
But having the tools, I'm so thankful that my husband he used to be in the automotive industry, and he also
Uh-huh.
we did dirt bikes and four wheelers. So he with the ATVs, he's pretty savvy with those type of things. So he has a lot of the tools and everything to work on it.
And he's a
Hmm.
crazy guy and a
Pretty easy
fantastic
to do
person. He's a fantastic person. That is
it.
amazing.
Oh yes, he is jack of all trades. I always say, but he is a master technician. So like when it comes to cars, he knows it. So the Windmills is just like something so much easier and smaller and more affordable. Like as far as a hobby, but it's still expensive though.
Hmm.
That's when
Yeah.
compared to a car, you know, like repairing a race car versus a Windmill.
So have you ever participated in a race in the US so far?
Yes, I did a small race. There's this event. I'm actually wearing the shirt from Float Life S3. It's
Mhm.
just it started as getting everyone together, just a one wheel event, have some trick comps, and then have a race and everything. But last year they had one called Float Life S 3.5 because 4 was canceled due to COVID. I know a lot of events were canceled last year, so they had a one day event, and I placed third in the women's challenge, and it was several minutes behind the other two females. Her name is Jamie and it's Rachel. So it was Rachel, she went on first, and then Jamie, she won second, and then I went third. So they were about the 6 minute, 30 second, and I was around 9 minutes. So, and there was a couple of the females that did participate in the race. So some people say, oh, you win because you're just a woman. There wasn't enough women racers, but I, you know, truly just went at it and didn't do like go as fast as I think I could, but just participating in it. And it truly puts you again out of your comfort zone. And I look forward to participating in events this year as well.
Yeah, I totally see that. I think it's so important that we women participated in so those kind of race, and I think it's awesome. I've watched Race for the Rails last year, and I found it so inspiring that in each group there was a woman participating, and I felt like I have to do that too.
Yeah, it's like you want to be a part of it and just believe in yourself and then like in your talent, your ability. And sometimes like having other people believe in you,
Yeah,
it brings about so much. And all the hobbies that we've done in life, as far as like myself and my husband, this is the one hobby that's truly brought us together, closer together. We um, have so much fun in doing it together, and like working on it and the builds and the designs and customizing it. It's a lot of fun and the people that you meet together as well. But the races,
absolutely.
I've never really been as like that competitive. I've always been more of a team. Like let's all win, let's all do it. But at the same time, we want to know who is the fastest, who's the best, to
Yeah.
have that title too. It does feel good. But and to see like the limits of what these boards can do, it's amazing. It's really amazing.
Yeah, true. How important do you think is it for women to grow as one-wheelers and to really stick together?
It's extremely important because we don't want to be left behind and just to be a male sport or to say it's just only men can do it, and I think it's important to encourage other women to do it, and especially having those women events. That's why it's important to attend those and um, to help other female riders. A lot of times, like even though I like to ride fast and hang with the guys and everything, if there's a new lady that would like to learn to ride, I'm like, I'll hang back with her and help her out, and kind of give her the tricks or what helped me, and even just doing the stretches. And I know he mentioned about yoga. Like I love doing yoga. That's one thing I think it kind of goes hand in hand with um, riding the Onewheel, to be able to be flexible and have that balance and the strength and everything. And it's not just physically but mentally. And so having the female there, we'll do yoga and then we'll go ride and have a fun time. And then each time I love seeing the progression of other women.
Right. Yeah, I totally see that. That's cool. So, do you think it's different to learn from another woman than to learn from a guy?
Yes, I think so. And as I mentioned before, my husband, he would try to teach me to do tricks and things like that. I could watch the videos, but being with a female for 5 minutes, instead of being like intimidated, I was, more encouraged and felt more comfortable and relaxed. And the pressure of like doing it the way the guy just did it, and with the female, they can kind of talk to you. They have a little bit more empathy and understanding. And then also just pain, like when you do hurt yourself, like they kind of can understand a little bit more, where a guy was like, I'm fine. We can be sensitive.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So we have a question from our viewers. He's like, can you describe how your very first ride was like? Um, Expectations and reality, maybe.
My expectations were that it was just going to shoot off from underneath me. I wouldn't be able to do it. I was going to fall down. And I actually have a very short clip. It's on my Instagram, and I don't really promote my social media as much. A lot of people, they want to get these followers and everything, but um, I do have a video on there. We were at a concert, and before the concert, the parking was in a big open field. It was a football field, and so they would line the cars up. Well, before everyone got there, we would tailgate, and had the big open football field, so it was a nice, smooth green grass, no holes or anything to worry about, and that's where I was able to learn to ride. And I think I was barefoot. That was another thing. I think being able to feel the board underneath my feet made me feel a little better. Um, and if I jumped off it and it was in the grass and it wasn't as bad. And the next time I rode was on sand on the beach, so when it was more of a compact sand, so I felt really comfortable. But as I mentioned, my expectation was to fall. Like I knew I was going to fall, and I think actually even once my first time actually falling down and hurting myself, it took away the fear a little bit to where I wasn't that bad, in my mind of like thinking it's going to be the
Yeah.
most horrible, break a bone or something, and I really wasn't that bad. And um, also you learn like when you need pads, like having gloves and helmets and knee pads, all those things are very, very important when you're first learning to ride. And
Yeah.
I think it's
So
just
how important is
Mhm.
what's that?
I think I saw him had a video, and it was like when I first started riding. And when I
Oh,
first started
okay.
riding, I was wearing sandals. Like the first time I rode on the street and actually like did a long like 7 mile ride, I was in sandals, no helmet, in shorts, no padding and stuff. And I think I fell once or twice, but nothing really major. But I'm telling you, I encourage it every time. Please gear up. It's so important. It doesn't matter. Some
Yes.
people want to look a certain way or say, "Oh, I know I'm not gonna fall." I don't need that. It happens so fast.
Right.
At least gloves and helmet. You know.
Yeah. So you totally agree. This was pretty much like the next question. What kind of safety gear are you wearing? So I assume it's helmet and always gloves, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love my One Protect gloves. They are the fingerless gloves, and that's another thing when people say, "Oh, how do you wear the?" Some people just don't like the fingerless gloves, but I like to have my hands free, my fingers free, and sometimes I stop riding and I don't even realize I still have them on. But
Hmm.
and then also they don't have as much wrist protection, which some people want to have that like wrist protection, but I like to have the flexibility. So as I'm riding, if I'm having a drink or I have my phone or anything, I can flex my wrist. I don't like for my to not be able to. And anytime I've gone down, I've never hurt my wrist that way per se, but my palms of my hands I have when I wasn't wearing protection on my palms. But
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, the
Okay.
helmet,
So
and I've hurt my knees, and I tend to wear more gear after I hurt myself. Like for instance, if I hurt my knee, I'm like, oh, I gotta put a knee pad on because I don't want to hurt it even more. Where if I perhaps had it on in the first place, maybe it wouldn't hurt so bad. And I've tested a couple different ones, and I like ones that I can put it underneath my clothes. And sometimes you don't even see that I'm wearing them, and they're like more thin.
yeah, totally see that. So do you have like troubles finding the right safety gear which fits and really works with you? Because I had an interview with another woman. She was like, there is no safety gear out there that really fits to a woman. So do you have the same kind of problem?
Some things will be like a little more loose or oversized. Um, Same thing, yeah, with knee pads and things like that. Sometimes you just have to customize it to yourself. Like I have, even if you have to hand stitch it, tighten it up, or add that extra Velcro and things like that into like the straps. Sometimes that helps. But they're coming out with, I believe, like more gears towards not just biking or motorcycles, but for one wheels and electric riders. A lot of people ride the e-boards, the electric boards.
Hmm. Yeah, I
And
really
that's what
hope
people.
so because I also feel like safety gear is very important and also that it really fits. Like,
Yeah, and see, that's the gentleman who created, same with CC Travis, he created these One Protect gloves. He would send us like a prototype and say, hey, what do you think about these? What about the material and how do they fit, like this particular size, for the average female hand or for the child hand, because my daughter rides as well. My daughter just walked out here. But she has a small hand, so she wears extra small. And so he really tries to listen to the riders. And you want to come in? My daughter wants to come in and say hey.
oh, hello. How's it going?
She likes to ride too,
Hello, how are you?
or wants to be.
So many faces show up.
Oh, how are you, my friend? How are you?
Good. How are you?
You can come in the camera and say hello.
Yeah,
Wait
you
a
can
I
second.
miss you.
I miss you too. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. It's raining out here, so I'm not riding.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is not good.
All
that
right,
is
we
that.
love
that
you. We're gonna go get Dunkin'
I love you
Donuts.
too. And we're going to see a small scratch for Mama.
Woo!
Yeah, that is a small scratch for Mama.
Love ya.
Yeah, my daughter, she rides as
La-
well, and she actually did fracture her arm when she was riding. She was right out here in our driveway, going very slow pace, and she was only 6 years old at the time. She's 8 years old now, but she had a helmet on and she didn't have elbow pads on, and so whenever she slipped, the board just slipped out from under her. She just fell on her bottom, but when she fell back, her arm landed and she fractured her humerus right here. It's a small fracture, so it wasn't a clean break, and she didn't have to have surgery, but she did have to have a cast in the heat of the summer, and that was like a bummer for her. So she didn't want to ride for about 6 months after she had the cast off. She was just very terrified of it. So I said, let's pad up, and I promise you we can go roll around in the yard and test these elbow pads out and make sure they work. And sometimes testing the gear out that way versus waiting till you actually have an accident. And she's like, yeah, you're right, I don't feel anything. So she got back on, and she does so well, and she impresses me. She's very great, and my son as well rides.
Okay. So you're always riding with your kids together?
When I can, yes. And sometimes she doesn't want to go because she'll say it's going to be too rough for this, so I have to kind of push her, encourage her, like, you can do it, and but having more children as well, that's just as important as having the females, get into the sport.
Yeah. I totally agree. Like encouraging them, teach them, and yeah, get the next generation come with us kind of thing.
She wants to come to some events with us, and she sees some of the other children riding, and she says, Mom, I want to come. And so I believe I may let her come to this one of the next events, a lot of times they'll be in locations where you have to stay in cabins or in the mountains. A lot of times the people who coordinate these events, they choose challenging locations. A lot of them are like mountain bike trails and things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. So how do other people react when they see you riding a Onewheel?
At first, before they, in the beginning, initially they'll say, "Did you make that? Like, what is this thing?" You know, they want to know like what it is, and the people still, if they've never seen, which I think a lot of people have seen them, and they know electric boards, and you know, it's simply what they are now. But a lot of people are just amazed. A lot of times they want to try it, and so if a few times I've let people try it. I would, of course, like make them say, "Hey, here's my gear," and I'll hold your hands, and you know, I'll kind of walk them through it a little bit. But it's really risky, like letting people try your boards. But we plan on having an event where we have like a demo day and having boards there where people can come and try out. But that would some of it's liability, so there must be some type of like waiver sign, like we're not liable for them if somebody does get injured. But tends to people want to try it every time somebody sees it. They, what is that thing? They want to try it, you know.
Yeah. Right. So do they react differently to you than they react to your husband?
Sometimes I think, you know, seeing a lot of times you do see more male riders, and so they're like, oh, female, she's doing it too, you know, like a lot of times, especially if I'm like keeping up with them, you know, and doing like the little jumps and the like curb drops. I don't mind doing like little curb drops and bunks and things like that. So sometimes they're impressed by seeing females do that and actually ride well and not just on the board, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool.
And they're
So
sweet.
you talked about like the event. When do you have like any idea when it's going to be, the event you're trying to organize?
Yes, there is. My favorite event is Float Life Fest, which is this September, and the one for it's called Will Scorcher is June 11th through the 13th, so that's right around the corner. And this is the regional qualifier, the race for the rail. How they worked it out this year is there's 3 different regions. They just recently had the Central Regional Challenge, so it was called the Enduro Race. I'm sure you've seen it, the dirt surfers. It was like a
Yeah.
recent challenge.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a similar event to that, and it's going to be in North Carolina, which is about 7 to 8 hours from me. But the event that they just had was about 14 hours from me. So it was a little further, and I'm actually healing my tailbone and my board was down. So I didn't make it to that event, but I knew I could have a chance to race in this next event. As I mentioned, it's called Will Scorcher. And the gentleman, Justin Thompson, who coordinates Float Life Fest in September, he's actually coordinating this event as well. And so if the top 5 riders, so they'll do a time trials, you know, in the men and women division. And so the top 5 females, top 5 men, they will all race that again. And whoever wins from that, the top 5, then they will have the chance to race at Race for the Rail. So they would be, so either I hope to win, you know, I really truly hope, but I think, but that's a good attitude I think to have. And I recently was watching some videos and someone said that they were like, go in with the mentality that you will win, not just, you know, or at least have a goal like top 5. I want to make top 5. So you're not disappointed. You're not setting yourself up for failure or like having this outrageous expectation of yourself. But so yeah, the event in June, that's the one I'm so looking forward to. And then, as I mentioned, the female event, the women's retreat will be in July. I'm like going through, I should have wrote it all down, but July, I believe it's 9th through the 11th. It's the second weekend in July. And then that same weekend, as I mentioned, it's their event in North Carolina. As again, North Carolina seems to be a great place in the Southeast United States for one-wheel riding, and it's called Shred Fest. And these guys are Oak City, and we actually met them at the Float Life Fest 3, and they're great riders, a great community of people.
Cool. Yeah. Have you seen a lot of international riders at those events so far?
Oh, 3.5 last year, and you know, I did not, because a lot of the traveling, you know, was limited for people. But at 3, yes, we did. Seeing, yeah, there was Less is More. She's a female rider. That's her name. Les. Some people call her Les. That's her name on Instagram. She is so great, and I was able to meet her, and she's amazing rider as well, female rider. She does a lot of street riding, I haven't really seen as many like
Mhm.
the trail rides. Maybe perhaps in her area they don't, or maybe this may not be her preference. But she's great on the streets. When I'm on the street, I tend to go a little bit slower, and I'm like, I'll meet you at the intersection. Just go on, you know. But I seem to push myself on the trails more. You know?
Okay. So, would you be interested in having international writers at those events you're just said are happening?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. It's just neat to have people from everywhere, you know, come together and then riding. I hope that they're able to come.
Yeah. I'm really hoping for that too. Like maybe at some point I'm gonna be at that Float Live Fest because two of my friends have been there and they told so much good stuff about it, like the mentality that's going on there, the people they met, and they were so excited. I'm like, okay, I really want to get that experience as well and get to know other female writers. This is very important because here in Germany, I barely know German writers, so there's only like one I met so far, and I really want to get to have this community growing and to get to have like what you just said, like someone who empathizes better with me kind of thing and whom I can learn more stuff from. So I'm super jealous that you have all that already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
so maybe
it
at some
would.
point.
Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
so. And like, I'm so thankful for the internet. It really just connect, even just like this, like having this talk show host is so great and it's very informative. So you're more informed of what is going on in the world. You're not just living in your own little world. And it's like you can, and we can
Yeah.
come together when it comes to things like even just like the legalization and how we would go forward as a community of one will writers, you know.
I totally agree. So for me, it's interesting to see that at some point in other countries it is allowed or they are fighting the same battle like we are. So how is it for you actually? In the US, it's still legal, right?
Hmm. Yes, and oftentimes I hear people say the gray area, like we're in the gray area where it's you don't know, it's not in the rules and regulations and the laws in some areas as far as like if you can ride here, if you cannot ride here, and there's some great people out in the Windmill community that are trying to put those things install into place, and then to help other states like share that information, like what they did to ensure that they have the right to ride and they know that they're not going to have their board confiscated or get a ticket of some sort, you know. So the one will, it's, yes, I'm trying to think the name, but there's several groups that are coming together that are trying to make sure that those types of things are in place. But in my area, it's again, it's one of those like, what are the people, they look at it and they say, what is that? What is this? You know, they want to know how powerful it is because there's some trails where the electric bikes aren't allowed, but we're riding on them, you know? So like the bicyclists and the people walking, the electric bikes are not allowed, but the one wheels are. So I think that someone should help get those things in place before they say, well, they're not allowed. You know what I mean? Like go ahead and have it,
Yeah.
add it to the list of type of vehicles that you can have on that type of area and the trails.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I feel like it's better to have regulations so you can see what you're allowed to do and not allowed than just banish it entirely and people go crazy because it's not allowed anyways, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you
So,
able to ride in your area right now?
not at all. Like I am raiding, but it's totally illegal, and a couple of people already got caught for it, and they confiscated the board or they got some sort of a ticket. But yeah, we're still raiding, always looking out for cops. It's
Goodness,
it's
so it's like
like
if you're in a community
yeah.
where something like maybe on a street or area that you know that there's not going to be, you know, or someone, gosh, that would make me so nervous, like having to worry, you know, all the time. And these things are
Yes.
pretty fast, and there's times like I'm confident, like, oh, we're like at night riding and a park is closing or something like that. You know, it's essentially it's illegal. You shouldn't be there riding at night. And I know that feeling of I shouldn't be doing this or something, you know. But there is something about the one wheel. It truly is so great, and I think that um, hopefully that they will be able to have someone come into place. I mean, what would it take for you in your area? What do you think to be able to change the laws to where they are legal, where you have maybe certain areas perhaps?
Well, we are trying to fight for like a study to be made that we can have like an example city to see how it's working, what kind of accidents are happening, or are they accidents at all. So like we're trying this way to get the study running. Not really happening yet, but we're still fighting for it. We are also having demonstrations going on, like for instance, next week we have one in Hamburg, and then in May we're gonna have one in Hedeke. So we're really trying to inform other people and show them that we're just regular people, that we are not going crazy or anything. So we just want to commute with our boards, kind of thing. So this is how we are trying to make an effort and work on it. But yeah, we haven't been successful yet, but we will be at some point.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Oh, I'm praying for you guys. I hope you're able to. I think coming
Thank you.
together, that's a big thing.
Yes.
And like having those studies, as you mentioned, that's a great idea. Like, over time, seeing the statistics and how it's benefited the people, versus hindered them, like we know the
Yeah.
risk. I think this is dangerous on a bicycle, and as good of a rider as you are. And what was there an incident? I perhaps I need to go back and like do my own like homework on it, but was there a specific incident that caused it to be illegal in your area? Like, did someone do something
No,
illegal? Did it hurt? Was there complaints? Were people going too fast? Or what was the main reason? Like
uh,
their reason not having it.
yeah, no, in Germany, it's like we ban pretty much everything at first, and then we see what we can do. So right now, it's only legal to go on e-scooters, um, and on segways because the lobby has been so big, they kind of push it through, But everything else is right now illegal because it doesn't have a handle, kind of thing. So, um,
But Segway now is out. Just
yeah,
the e-scooters. The Segway before they could ride it, but now is illegal too. Just
that's
Do
true.
e-scooters.
they see that they're dangerous, so they're not like have a place for them? And I've dealt with that a little bit, like where I went to a city where they said you need to be on the sidewalk, you do not need to be on the road because we were riding in the road, and the speed limit was perhaps 15 or 20 miles an hour, which we know the windmills can go that, and we were probably pushing it to the limits, but so we weren't necessarily like holding up traffic or anything. But then a couple miles down the road, we're on the sidewalk, and the guy said, "You get off the sidewalk. You need to be on the road." And so we got back on the road. And so whatever, I guess it's maybe their discretion, the police officer in that moment. But
Yeah.
that's have segues. And what is the reason? What is the reason they say that they're too dangerous on the road? Or?
Um, I hate to say that, but in Germany, it's practically everything that's new. It's scary. It scares people that there is something they can't handle at first, or they are like, okay, this is brand new. This has to be dangerous, and we cannot have that here. Only crazy people are going to be on it, and
Maybe
now
have
we have to
control.
prove them. It's Yeah, we have to prove them wrong, kind of thing. So we are like, no, we are not crazy people. It's not super dangerous, and you are totally good to allow it. We won't do crazy stuff with it. So yeah, it's just like I
Okay,
said, Germany is scared of everything new.
yeah. Maybe like
So yeah.
all the things like right now, I know in the West Coast they're doing meals on one wheels, like Meals on Wheels, and then that's a really
Yeah.
really great way to give back to the community and helping and having the one wheels to do that. Like that's I think it's such a great cause and an ability to do that versus having to walk or ride your bike. How are we going to get this food to these people so fast? And seeing everyone carrying those bags and helping out, that is it's amazing. So maybe something like that. Maybe trying to make like an initiative or an event that the one will
Hmm.
community is giving back, to
That's
benefit.
a very good idea. That's very smart. Have you ever been to such an event like Meals on One Wheels?
I haven't here, but I would actually love to coordinate something like that. I've done events where we've picked up trash and litter. We have like the long sticks that have the little clip, the claw on the end where you can in the trash
Ah,
bags. So everyone just comes together. We've done it on the beach before, or even just in our local area on the roads and say, hey, we're just gonna have a cleanup day, guys. Who's gonna meet up? So we're getting to ride, we're cleaning up and essentially giving back and not just riding
Mhm.
past it, and showing that, hey, we can do this and we make a difference as well, making a better
Yeah.
impact instead of negative impact.
Yeah. So how important do you think it is to make a very good first impression?
It's very important. Yeah. First impressions are lasting impressions, so it's good to make that first impression for anybody, and someone who may be interested in it or someone who's completely against it. You want to make that first impression. So whenever you leave that situation, you left a positive mark on them, that they go and tell other people, say, hey, this one where I saw this person on this Onewheel thing, and they were picking up trash, and they were very friendly and kind. They're cautious of this, or their willingness and things like that. Like, you want them to go away, and word of mouth, and it spreads, so you want them to say this
Yeah.
good thing. Yeah.
I totally agree. So do you think the community so far is seen as really nice and good people, or what do you think other
I think
people
so.
think?
As a whole, it has, and I think that my husband, he also is like a little out there, and he likes to have like his drinks, and that's another thing as well, like alcohol. I think if you want to have a drink, more power to you, and have your drinks, but like open containers, just like you wouldn't be on your e-scooter or Segway or something, like drinking a beer, because you would take a risk of
Yeah.
getting driving while intoxicated or something. Different laws in different areas, but sometimes that can, to me, make a bad image for the one-wheel riders, or going super fast and trying to do these crazy stunts or something without a helmet on. That can reflect negatively on the whole, and so I try to help him, like, say, if you're going to do this crazy stunt, put your helmet on and I'll film it for you, kind of thing. Like, try to encourage him so that he realizes the bigger impact. Like, just by you doing that, if you get hurt, it's going to affect all of us. There's going to be that person saying, see, I told you, these things are so dangerous, they're so bad, or just, I think that everyone just needs to be cautious, and, we wouldn't want what happened to you guys, for them to
Yeah,
stay away. So.
exactly. I think so too. Yeah, so we're kind of jealous, like, to the US. Like, you can ride there without looking over your shoulder. Is there a cop coming or not? So yeah, and we totally agree. It's like the first impression that counts, and we're really trying to make a good impression, to really make the other people see that we're good people.
I
Yeah,
make
we're
it
working on that.
pay attention, like each person, try to make eye contact, just let them know that I see them, that they're there, even if we're going fast. A lot of times I'll be in the back of the pack and they may be zooming past, and I'm like, hey, you guys, how are you? And like, let them know. And then then they smile, and you smile at them,
Yeah.
when there's not a mask, like some places, like, we're on the trails, we sometimes, I guess it's more of a choice when it comes to like trails, because you're outdoors and you are, fairly
Mhm.
spaced apart. But in the city, if we're like riding on in certain areas, while I'll wear my mask and things like that, because those are regulations as well.
Yeah.
There's just so many just laws and regulations to deal with, and I can imagine. I think Onewheel was actually what helped through all of that, and so I can imagine not
Yeah.
being able to have that little bit of escape, or something that brings that joy, and all the craziness in the
Mhm.
world. It's like the Onewheel is something that brings that good feeling inside, and just feel free.
I totally agree. It helps to get through this pandemic and to not go mentally crazy.
Do they have all skateboards, like regular skateboards without electric, on the sidewalks and
Yeah.
everything? Just
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
with electric. Yeah. See,
Okay.
skateboards
Yeah.
are like banned in some places, but they allow the electric here. Like, they don't want skateboarders in some areas. I don't know if in the past, perhaps if they maybe have done something to, whether it was if something was vandalized. I'm not sure. Over time, like, I think skateboarders, they end up getting a bad rep because of certain people in the community in certain cities and things like that. But then I think that right now it's on a good path. We're on a good path, I think, internationally, with the Onewheel and everyone
Yeah.
working together. And I think it'll be big things to see in the future with the Onewheel. And it's honestly, when my board goes down, I'm like, I'm just going to stop writing, because I don't want to have to deal with this feeling ever again. And I told my husband, I said, what if they just stop making Onewheels? What if the app just quits working and they do something with it to where it just doesn't turn on? Like, you see the light come on, but you can't ride, like it doesn't engage or something, like the software, something goes wrong with it. And he said, no, don't ever think about that. But it is the thought, like, if you didn't have, you really couldn't ride, like, we've become engineers, like, build our own board somehow.
Yeah. I bet. Like, the community is so big, so strong. we will always have someone who could help us out and continue writing, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, even if it wasn't exactly like the Onewheel, but it does
Yeah.
stand out. And I hear on the show here, people will say how the Onewheel is different, like from the other like electric skateboards and stuff. It's just like a different feeling and challenge, which I cannot ride the
Yeah.
regular hoverboards like the kids ride on, like with the 2 feet like this forward, and then also like the
Yeah. Yeah.
EUC, those. Oh my goodness, I can't. I haven't actually tried the EUC for wheel in the center. Have you tried it?
No, have you?
I haven't tried it yet. I have some friends that have them, but I ski and I water ski and snow ski, and I do a slalom, which
Yeah.
is like the one ski where your feet are like this. But so people are like, you could do it. Like they said I could do it, but I'm like, I don't know. Like I just feel so comfortable on the one wheel.
Yeah, so I'm totally comfortable on a one wheel too, but I feel like at some point we definitely have to try just to know how it is and to know how to compare these two boards, So this is actually one thing I'm planning for this year to ride an EUC or any other kind of board just to get the experience.
Yeah,
What are
absolutely. Me
you
too.
planning
Some
on?
people do it. Some people end up going to that. One of the really good
Yeah.
riders, his name is Sly Dog Stroh, is what they call him, and Andrew, I think is his name, and he's a great one wheel rider. He's one of the top like people doing tricks and things like that, and he ended up getting an EUC, and you never see him on a one wheel anymore. And he's like, I think the limitations of the one wheel, and also working with Future Motion, I think if he had problems with this board, maybe he had a problem like with Future Motion. I don't know the exact situation, but he tended to really like the EUC and do very well on it. It went a little faster, and it just worked for him. So I think the one wheel community was sad to see him like leave, like not riding the one wheel, because
Yeah.
we get inspired by those really good riders. But that was his preference, and so you never know. We might get on it and we might like it. We might be like, this is better. This is so much easier. I like the challenge. I like the challenge.
Yeah. So,
And
what are your plans for this year? Excuse me, what's that?
I was saying the pine is challenging too to ride. People sometimes
Right.
will say pine's, they think the XR and the Pine are so different. They're not very different, but
Yeah,
to me the Pine is a little more challenging to ride.
absolutely. I have a couple of guys who are like, "How on earth did you learn riding on a pine?"
Yes, it's not. I'm like, I'm gonna get a Pine because it's not as expensive, or it's smaller, to be easier, but it's actually challenging. It's so, to me it's more challenging. Like the ankle strength and everything.
Yeah, especially on going on trails. I mean, the pine is already more wobbly, and then going on trails, oh my gosh, it's sometimes really, really
I
challenging.
feel like it almost like pops me off, and also the tire pressure. That's one thing I don't think we mentioned. That makes a big difference. So if you maybe just let a little bit of air out of your tire down to about 11
Hmm.
psi, that's a good spot. Because I usually would ride about
Yeah.
like
Okay.
17, 18 on the street, and then between like 11 to 14 on the Pint, but then about 12 to 14 on the XR, as far as like lowering it down.
Hmm. Yeah. So, do you customize your XR? Like, I know you can have different shapes, and you can write, and on a DXR you can really customize it the way you like it. Do you do that?
Oh yes, absolutely. It's not just changing out like the bumpers, which they have the plates on the bottom, which kind of help protect the bottom of the board. Like the side rails, they have different customizations with those. Flex Skin is one of my favorites. It was super easy, and you could customize. For instance, I said I wanted something like the Galaxy. I'm really interested in this, and I want these colors. And so I sent him a couple of pictures, and he sent it back to me. Sorry, there's a plane going over, it's a little loud, but you can customize it in that way. Like if you want it just to look good, but then if you want it to perform really good, there's so many options out there. And but you do take that risk of losing your warranty if you take certain things apart. So like changing the tire, I don't think you lose your warranty for that. So that's one of the aftermarket things that I would recommend if you do like riding the trails. So changing, I've tried the Hoosier and I've tried the Burst tire. I'm actually trying a smaller tire. It's a 5.5 and it's a treaded, but it feels kind of like the Pint, but for the XR.
Mhm.
So having that smaller, it's more nimble. So it gives you the feel, but you still have that range with the XR. But also the kill guards, which are the kill plates I put on top of the bumpers on the bottom, and there's still plates, and that truly does help. Some people don't like the way they look. They prefer to have, I guess, more colorful. But as soon as I put new colorful bumpers bumpers on, I'll put my metal plates on top of them because I want to protect that. And if I want to go to town and have my board look cool, I can just take those off. But they work, and they work very well. And I've tried out the suspension, which is really, really neat. My husband, he recently did a show as well on the suspension, and that is a game changer. It feels so different. It feels great. Yes, that's it right there on the pictures. But I absolutely love it. And they actually just released the new design, which is a little bit smaller. Some people would be thrown off by the way that suspension would look because it's a little bit taller, but they just toned it down a little bit to where it's almost comes as high as the fender and on the tire. So it doesn't it's not as big and bulky. It's not, in the way or anything, but it feels so good. And my husband loves it. He took his off recently, and he's waiting for the new set to come in. And he's like, "Oh my goodness, it feels so different." And he has it back to the way it was, just a regular board. And he's like, "I cannot wait to get my suspension." He loves it. And that's
Okay.
a big upgrade.
Okay. So I've never seen those kill guards anywhere here in Germany, and I don't really know what it does. So please tell me more about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I was mentioning, the kill guards initially, they're just metal plates. I should probably grab my window, but they're metal plates that go on the bottom, and they just screw in, and they protect, as I mentioned, as the box open.
Hey, Bon, go get it. The Onewheel with the kill cards.
Okay.
No, not you. Your man. You have to do something. You are.
I'm gonna grab it. You want me to grab it?
Yeah, of course.
Sure. Go ahead. So for everyone out there, thank you very much for all your comments and all your questions. I'm gonna come down to a couple of those later on until Kristy is coming back. And thank you for watching. That's so cool that you're all here. And please subscribe. Please leave all your comments. And if you have any further questions, just leave them down in the comment section. We really appreciate it. Leave a like, and yeah.
If you don't see, Mel is now here with us. Mel was last week here in the interview. If you have the chance, go there and see the interview. She's from Ohio, and she rides with his boyfriend too. Look! Now it's coming. Let's see.
We are.
If you go there, please, let's put it like this. Oh,
Yeah, so
that is good.
This is just a little bit aftermarket grip tape on here. I'm not sure which this particular one is. Bart changes it out for me, but so I have the bumpers. These are actually made by Future Motion, so you can buy those, the colorful ones. See, I have the purple on, but you can buy those from the Onewheel website. But there's other people that make those. There's a new one that released from Float Life. It's called the Bang Bumpers. And essentially what it is supposed to help so you wouldn't have to use these, which are the fangs, which I like to have the fangs because when you do nosedive, you just slide, they do work. Some people don't like it, but they definitely work. But they have the bang bumper so that if you do that nosedive, you're able to slide out on them. But these kill plates, like I was telling you about, they're metal, and it truly does save the Onewheel. This thing, when you're riding in the mountains and if your board goes off and it's tumbling end over end, I know it's protected. I feel really confident that it works really well. And then, I mentioned, this right here on the side, I ordered this from Flux Skins, and it actually comes over here. They call these things fender deletes, but it looks like different planets and everything on it. But that's it has the colorful on it. And then on my tail, I have a wider tail. It's called a platypus tail, and Land Surf makes that. And it has the concave, so you can see how high, look how thick that is. It's really thick, and it's much more wider. And then when you're riding on the trails, your foot's gonna lock in there, and it does help. So when you're bouncing around or going down a hill, your foot is gonna be locked in that rear side. It makes it feel a lot better. But yeah, so kill guards, they made these first, and then they came out with the suspension. And so with that suspension, it takes a lot of I guess whenever you hit things I guess the hard hits that you would feel you don't feel it at all. It doesn't feel so rough on your knees and everything. It feels very smooth. It takes some getting used to, because I'm used to just bending my knees, allowing my knees to naturally be that kind of suspension. so you don't have to bend your knees as much. So it's kind of like when I was riding it, I would bend my knees and then it would come up, and it was almost like I needed to relax more, like when I was riding it. See, that's the
Kristy,
yes, the
that is the
picture.
one, yeah? That is the new
Mhm.
one.
Yep. So it comes up a little bit above, and so this is my fender. I grabbed it too, but I typically don't ride like as much with my fender, but it comes up a little bit higher than that, and I think they had customized it. But Mark can't wait, so you'll have to
I,
get
I I'm
him
going
back
to
on
show
here
the.
and show you from him, like
I'm
when he
going to
tries out
show.
the option.
I'm going to put that was the first one. That is
Mm-hmm.
that barn always right, and this is the new one.
Yeah,
This is
it's much
the
lower,
smaller, and this is very a little bigger,
and as I was
higher.
mentioning, I was wanting to do some more tricks, and we have this thing called a black block, and it's like one of those like a parking block essentially, but it's a certain company that makes them, and you can do the slides where the people they come in fast and then they do the slide on the windmill. I wanted to start practicing that, and I love doing the varials where you jump and switch your feet around,
Uh-huh.
and with having the suspension on, it was kind of a little bit more challenging having that on. So I did take mine off, and we ended up selling it to a gentleman in Canada. And he's like, I can't wait. Hopefully that they open the borders as well, because we have friends in Canada as well that cannot come over to the United States to ride. But he loves it, and it worked out really great for him. So I can't wait to try out this new suspension. So once it's on, I don't have to kind of worry about having that little bit in the way when I'm doing the tricks and stuff. There's a
Okay.
really
Yeah.
cool guy. His name is I think it's Isaac, and it's Best of Onewheel. I think is his name on Instagram. I follow a lot of people like really good riders. That's my inspiration, like seeing these really great riders. But he tried doing, I think it was a full 360 going off a ramp with that board this past weekend. Like it was with one of the events, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like it's insane what these people do, like going off the ramp, full 360 in the air, and then land on the board. Like, how did this? It's mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Whenever I see people doing some crazy stunts on the one wheel, I'm always like, oh my gosh, how on earth are you doing this? Are you not from this world?
Yeah, it's really. I'm telling you, the physical aspects, the mental aspects as well. But that's one thing like with yoga. It truly does help me, like with my flexibility and the strength. And if I don't do it every day, then I'm going to be so sore. And I've had multiple injuries. I've had a spinal injury when I was younger, and the one wheel actually has been great physical therapy because it helps like with the core and the core strength. And
Hmm.
but it can cause injuries, so it's kind of like pleasure and pain.
Yeah, totally. So what was your worst moment so far on a one wheel?
I think it was probably recently. I fell and hurt my tailbone, and I was fully padded up, ready. We did a 20-mile ride. I also didn't mention I do have an after market battery as well. I have a CBXR battery, and so that gives you
Ah,
that long range. That was one of the
yeah.
upgrades that I did on this board, and truly makes all the difference. Like where we stopped on this 20-mile ride that I'm speaking of, everyone was charging except a couple of us that had the CBXR batteries. We didn't have to charge, and so after over a 20-mile ride, I was still at I think like 26% like battery left on the one wheel. So um, but that night in the last mile, the wind picked up a little bit. I don't know what it was. Something happened. People were like, "What? You did so good," but the tail fell back again, like fell back, like I was mentioning. I don't know if the Air 16 came on because it just happened so fast, but I went from like transition from the sidewalk down to the road, and then I hit like a patch of like sand and like gravel or something. And anyways, when I hit my tailbone directly on it, and I was going about 16 miles an hour or so, because I track it on the app, and you can see like your speed and like where you're
Yeah.
going and stuff. And so that was and I like didn't tumble, no scratch, nothing. It just hit. So you imagine that impact. It was just so hard. And
Yeah. Yeah.
after that, I couldn't walk, and it's still very sore. Like sitting down, it's sort of And I've only been riding for a couple of days now again, but that was the most painful thing that I think happened. So, and I have like hip pads and butt pads, and things like that for when I'm really racing or trying to go fast, like on the trails, but I wasn't wearing them that day. So I will be wearing some like next time I go on the street. I feel like if I was going that faster, similar situation, if I was on dirt, I would have slid, you'd slide it out.
Hmm.
But on pavement, it's not as forgiving,
Yeah,
That
totally.
was
Oh my gosh.
worst.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And that's why I say like it could happen to anybody, because I have over 2,000 miles on this board, and I've been riding since 2018. And I'm not the best rider, but I'm very confident in my riding and ability to run something out. Like when I do fall, I typically will run it out or roll. And that time I've only fell like that once ever, and I'm like, so it was like a freak accident. So just be careful for your bottom, you know.
Yeah. But sometimes when you least expect to fall, this is when you hurt the most. You know?
Mhm. Yeah, like I
Uh,
mentioned, after that 20-mile ride, that was one of the longest rides I've done. I want to get that 32-mile in one day. That like you do 32 miles and reach that goal in the app. But I was feeling so good, and that's another thing too. Once you feel like you're okay, and you're like, we're like half a mile to the cars, like almost there, you know, like accidents happen close to home, you know, kind of thing.
yeah. Right. So what was your best moment in comparison to that?
Um, I don't know. I think maybe this past time at 30.5, like racing and everything that I wasn't expecting to even race, and I think that was one of the best moments because I did something that I normally wouldn't do. I've gone to the events, like I went to Float Life S3 and I didn't participate. And actually, I was one of the first people with the pint at that event. So like I kind of stood out. Everybody had the XR. I was like, oh, what's this pint? You know, I felt cool because like everybody could try it, you know, but really couldn't perform against the XR on those trails, you know. So I kind of stayed back, and I didn't have the confidence in myself anyways to like race back then. But that was probably a really good moment, I think, you know. It's probably winning, and
Cool.
that's what's kind of pushed me to want to do it as well. Because
Mhm.
at that particular event, they had I think over 80 riders, and they're getting to the like last 10, and it takes about 5 to 10 minutes or so, depending how fast you are, to get to the very top of the mountain, which is about a 400 foot, maybe 3 to 400 foot. I can't recall it specifically, but to get to the top. And so all the racers are up there waiting for their turn, and every 2 minutes another racer goes down. So I'm at the bottom waiting for Bart to get down, my husband, and they're like, why aren't you racing? Why don't you do it? And I'm like, I don't have my gear, I don't have my elbow pads. And they're like, well, Bart does. So when he gets down to the bottom of the hill, everyone's like, yeah, you made it, you did great. We know, and he ended up, I think, getting 6th or 7th out of over 80 riders. So he did very well as well. But
Wow.
he I was like, hey, can I get your elbow pads? He's like, why? I was like, I'm gonna go race. So I went all the way to the top, and then when I got to the top, they said you have 4 minutes. That means that there were only 2 people in front of me, and I was one of the last people to go down. So I didn't have like the 3 hours, like because it was about a 3 hour span of those people going down. So I didn't have the time to like hang out and just like, all right, it's my turn to go. It was like I got up there, I was still short of breath, and like okay, go, you know. So it was like a lot of adrenaline and emotion and everything. But everyone believed in me. They're like pushing me to do it. Like, you can do it. Come on, just do it, you know. And I really enjoyed that. So that was a good moment.
Yeah, I bet. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
just to make it. I only fell once. Like I got to one of the very last like little hills, and you go up and down, up and down. You're like, when is it gonna end? Your legs are on fire. Like your legs are burning. You know, for the longest like 5 to 6 minutes of your life. You know, but
Yeah.
you just gotta push through. But I went down like I just on my knees and jumped back up and got on. I kept telling myself throughout it, I was like, just make it, you can do it. You know, you're talking to yourself the whole time, you know, just pushing
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, I totally see that. One of my friends were like, "Are you talking to yourself while writing?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course. I'm trying to encourage myself that I can do this." Yeah, it kind of sounds funny.
Thank you. Yes. There's a gentleman, goodness, it's Jamie's husband. His name is Josh, and I think it's, are they Wolf Fun stuff? What is Josh and Jamie's?
What?
Shenanigan Squad? Is it Wolf Fun stuff? Yeah, Wolf. What is it? Wolf Fun stuff. I'm trying to think of somebody's like Instagram name, but his name is Josh, and he has this video, and he's in the race, and he has like his 360 camera, and he's talking to himself like, okay, you can do this, and he's like, oh my god, these trails, and he's describing it, and as he's describing it, it's exactly how it was. So I'll have to find that video and like send it over to you, and then so you'll know exactly like how that feeling was. And next time I go, I really want to try this 360 camera. It's like the small one that you can put like on your helmet or like on
Uh-huh.
your
Hmm.
um, or in your chest. I think it has like a neck thing, but
Yeah.
I want to try that camera out and try to get some good footage because I carry my phone with me a lot and it just doesn't capture it, and it's always shaky. And
Yeah. Yeah. First, I think it's really funny that I'm not the only one who's talking to myself, encouraging myself that I can do stuff. But it's really cool to hear that others do that. And then, yeah, the cameras, I totally see that. I also have like um only my phone, and it doesn't make good videos and stuff. So I'm really thinking into getting another camera too. So you're thinking about getting an Insta?
I think my
You're cut out right now. Hello?
hello.
Oh, there you are. Perfect. Now I hear you again.
I don't know what's going on with my camera.
Now we can see the ceiling.
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay,
There we are.
they brought me a smoothie. I love these like green smoothies. They brought me smoothies.
Oh,
They're
cool.
good. Take care of your mom.
Sweet girl. She's gonna
Yeah,
come to
that
this
is very
next year. I
and,
have to go
and
to
she
prom,
ri-
for
and
the
she ride very good.
Yes, she does.
She's a good rider. We have here a video from you riding. Let's see. You working. Where is the video? Here you are. Let's
Always
put
gotta find
it.
the video.
There you are.
It is.
It's so awesome. I really love seeing that.
I think she's on the pint there. We're having a little bit of issues with the sensor pad on the pint. We changed out the grip tape, and ever since then, I don't know if like because it's like the third time we've changed it out, that it doesn't engage every time. So if you're going less than like a mile, if you're just standing there instead of just being able to balance on it, it'll just cut off, and so it doesn't always engage. And while you're on the trails like this and trying to keep up with everybody, you want to be able to just jump back on and go. And so she can get a little frustrated with that. So we're saving up. We're going to get her an XR2. I haven't decided if I want to sell the Pine or not. I have this attachment to it because it was part of the they call it the social club. The Pint Social Club was one of the first 100 that were made, and just waiting for that board. And I just have this attachment to it, and I don't want to sell it. Of course, like we're going to sell it. And
I totally see that. But I have the same problem sometimes. Mine is not engaging every time too. It's really frustrating, but it's then when I hold on to a tray and really wait until it's engaging, eventually it will, but I totally get that it's frustrating. Yeah.
Did you change your grip tape out? Or is
it happened? No, I did change it, but it already happened before I changed it. So
has it ever gone sometimes like if they've gone to went into like a tree or something, sometimes it can mess it up the front of it. I noticed that's what happened to mine, like whenever started, like they call it ghost riding, where it would stay engaged and it just like took off on me. I had issues and it like hit a tree one time. I've gone through like different issues like with the board, but a lot of times it was
do you travel a lot? And when you travel, do you have like your boards with you?
Oh yes, I almost every time I leave the house, I'm like, I'm gonna bring my board, and because if I might see like a trail, I might see something, I might want to stop and just go ride, But definitely when we go out of town, I definitely bring my boards, and it's always something fun, like at family events and with friends, especially ones who haven't ridden before. And I'll tell you, almost every time we ride with a new group of people and people that we know and they get to spend a little time on them, they're like, hey man, my board's going to be here next week. We just ordered it. Like they'll end up buying a board because they rode ours. And that's like, it's always a good feeling knowing that we encouraged someone or they bought it because like they tried ours, and had the opportunity.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely see it everywhere we go.
Isn't it like a super fun way to explore different areas?
Yes, absolutely. Places that you may could walk, but you wouldn't be able to see that much, and that time frame, it's fast and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and that's one thing I love about this area. It's very beautiful out here, lots of trails, and living here for so long, and we would just go to the parks, maybe walk a little bit, but knowing how much is back there, like deep in the woods, that you can access with these boards, it's really neat. So I have this app, the All Trails. It's called All Trails app, and it'll show you all the trails that are, in your surrounding area. And so I also use the Onewheel app, and then using that app as well, I found some like little secret areas that I never even knew were in the middle of the city, like another like little path. And I'm like, let's go check it out.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. So have you ever been to Europe so far?
I have not. My husband has. He's traveled a lot, but I have not. So if we come, I'm not sure if we'll be able to bring our boards, but we'll have to find someone who has one there,
Hey, you're totally welcome to use my pint if you're here.
Awesome.
And we have a really big community here.
We take care of you.
Yeah, exactly. We totally take care of you guys.
Don't worry. I hope that I get the second one now, because I have issues now with my Onewheel too. With I'm losing all the time the
Connection.
the connection, and That way, I'm going to buy a new one. I don't. I'm having a little scared. Then when I
Are you
have
just
the
old board? Or are you gonna sell the old board?
I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to try to repair it. If I don't repair it, I'm going to take it forever because that was my first one, and it's my baby.
Oh, yes. Every time it goes down, I'm like, okay, I have hope. And that's what's really great about having these people who can work on them. And this past weekend, actually, Bart drove to St. Augustine, where Ryan lives, Wittsville. It's about 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away from where we live here in Florida. And so he's either going to ship it because we had actually sent the battery back and we've had the wiring harness redone. They tried everything, but it was like something like I mentioned on the computer piece, like a little piece broke off and needed to be soldered back on. But he just drove there and was able to have him work on it. And I felt so fortunate to have someone that would be able to work on it, figure out this issue, find it.
Yeah, totally see that. I'm so happy that I have someone who's totally into the technical stuff. So whenever something is wrong with my board, I can totally give it to him. I also have like a battery extension. I'm like, it's life-saving kind of thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I don't have that one on my pine. They do make one, for the pine here as well. So I said if I was going to keep the pine or if something happened to my XR, I was just going to like focus on the pine because when it was down, my XR is down. That's what I ride. I just ended up riding the pine. I'm kind of like fall back in love with the sport. I'm like, actually, I do really like this thing. Like this is fun. Where before
Yeah.
it was just kind of like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. So, in order of the time, I kind of want to ask you the question, what is it that you really want to get out there into the world and what's really important for you to say today?
I think that it's really important, as I mentioned earlier, for safety. If you want to ride the one wheel or pretty much any electric vehicle, just know be cautious, watch the tutorials. That's reach out to other people, find other riders to ride with. Sometimes people tend to be antisocial and they don't, even with COVID as well, they don't want to be around people as much, but there's so many resources. Just look for it and don't let like pride and ego get in your way and say I can figure it out on my own kind of thing. It's the resources are there
Yeah.
for a reason. It's people who will support you and help you. And I think that just pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, trying something new, that'd probably be the best thing I could say.
No, it's absolutely right. Perfect. Yeah. It was really, really nice talking to you. Do you have any other questions to us?
I think I have a bunch of questions. I may have to like reach out to you, as far as like I'm really interested in learning about like the laws and things that you guys are dealing with, like the legal issues, and like where maybe perhaps I can like help, recommend or connect you guys with other people that you may not already know. So
Yeah, I see that absolutely important. I really want to stay in contact and really make this thing growing. I'm so excited about meeting other female writers and really get their opinions and inspirations, And so I think we're really hitting it off. We have a good start here, and we can continue that. And I really love that. Yeah.
yes, it's so nice to meet you. And I think I should reach out even more to other female writers as well, and not let those just wait for the event to happen,
Yeah.
I think
Exactly.
the important thing is we have to stick all together. That is a sport for everybody. We are in the same shift. That is a beautiful thing, and we have to have more and more ladies there, riders. Don't I think there is no age for nothing, from small one to big one. We have to bring all of them together, and just ride and have fun. Forget about the
Yeah.
problems of life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
I
really
couldn't have
nice.
said it any better.
Yeah, that is the way. I think that is the way. That's why I say to everybody there, every Sunday in the morning. I don't know wherever you are. If you are, hello, my friend. If you are in different countries, maybe it's not morning, maybe it's afternoon, maybe it's night. Just come here, enjoy it, have a good time. If you are a lady rider, we have the pleasure to have you here. For this month and next month, we are complete. We are complete. Next
Silly.
month is going to be, and don't worry, he's always like that. He's not going to change. Be yourself, my friend. I tell him before in the last interview. If you don't see the interview with Ban Miller, please, you can go here. We are coming close to 100 interviews now, and that's why it's beautiful. I think you today is the 91 interview, and in the 3 months doing interviews is very good. And Ban, don't change it, my friend. Be yourself.
I'm not changing nothing.
Yes,
I
my
always
friend.
You can change perfection. Once it's perfect, you just,
I like the way you talk, my friend. I like the way you have to be yourself. If you change, you're not going to be the same. Nobody's going to like you no more. You have to be. I just want to tell to everybody, ladies or guys who has YouTube channels, don't forget, do the same. Bring the riders. Take care of us. See you, my friend. Uh, Help the communities. Just not sit in your telephone and just see. Come here and give to your wives, girls, friends. Say it. Please come to the live streams. Make nice thing for all the community. This way, we're going to grow all together, and it's going to be more events for everybody. That is my idea always. That's why I started this. And me and you and the three of us, we are not winning nothing with it. We just want to bring something new and help the other ladies to see that is a very nice sport. And that is not a sport for men. It's not a sport. It's a sport for everybody. Woo! Oh, that is from Igna. Igna. Send you.
this is from Ignas.
Wait a second.
All the way out there.
Come here. A little more. Yeah. That is some Igna.
Yeah. That and he sent me that, and I just wanted to let him know.
Other way.
There we
Yeah,
go.
my friend. That is very nice.
I love you, Ignas. You make sure that gets to him. I got it on my wall.
You might be watching. You might be tuning in.
Maybe we're going to see all of us in Flow Lives 4. Maybe
That would
I
be
hope
they
so,
open-
man. I miss y'all.
we are going to try. If they open the borders, we are going to come for sure.
Yes.
The only problem is the
And then they have,
borders.
like a date, like because I know sometimes they set a date, like for this amount of time, like the borders will be closed, and then we'll announce on this date if we're going to open them. Have they set a date that let you guys know, or I just don't know?
Up to date is not going to be worse for us. Where we live, me and Hella, up 20 o'clock of the evening, you cannot go out of your house.
Yeah.
Up to
So-
date.
Usually I'm super proud being German and live in Germany, but at this very time, it's kind of embarrassing. It's a complete shit show here. I hate to say that, but it's the very truth.
Sorry. Well, this is your escape right here, right? We can still connect.
Here we can enjoy a little and meet other persons. That is
Yes.
the important thing. And for you guys there, or ladies, first for the
I know,
ladies,
I always try to tune in.
Ev-
I have the notifications on my phone, so no matter what I'm doing, I still try to go in at least to tap the like button, because I love what you're doing and having the show. And even if I'm not able to tune in, or even if I don't understand the language, I still will try to be a part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect. Thank you so much. It's very important.
I think it's important. And for all the ladies there, don't forget the No Limits to Ride Electric. There is a group of ladies too. We are coming close to 100 ladies inside. Are coming bigger and bigger from around the world. If you want, go there. If you have questions, you can ask to all the girls there. They are ladies for around the world, and maybe is one way for you to start to have some chats and understand. If you don't ever try any board, you want to have questions, go to the group, ask to all the ladies. They're going to help you the way to find the best wheel for you to ride it. Don't mean you have to ride the one wheel. You have to find the best electro device that you can is better for you to ride it. Of course, I'm a guy who loves one wheels, Kristy and Hella, but Maybe some persons like another type of board. We have to respect it. The important thing, we are the community and we are together. That is the important thing. For my part, I want to say first of all, thank you very much for coming. I hope to see you very soon. It's
Yeah,
always a pleasure to speak with you. And I think
thank
that
you.
was a very nice interview. I think now Hella is starting to do all the interviews with the girls, not anymore me. Maybe not 100% because we have jobs and everything, but when she has time, she's going to do it. And I think that is a nice way to do it. Ladies speaking with ladies about electro device. I think that is very nice. And please subscribe to the channel. Help us. The channel is for the community. We not winning nothing with this. We just do this for a big pleasure to meet other persons and bring information from other riders around the world. From my side, I say thank you, and I leave you the two of you for the last words. And I see you very soon.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Always.
Yeah, I think there's not it's too much left for me to say. I just had a really, really good time talking to you. It's been really nice. You're very inspiring words already. So yeah, I think it's been awesome that we got together, that we had the chance to meet and to talk together. And thank you everybody out there who watched this or is going to watch it. Yeah, Kristy.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure speaking with you. I'm sorry for the slight delay there in the beginning, but I'm so
Yeah.
thankful to be here, and I feel like I have so much more I would love to share with everyone. So hopefully we can continue to connect.
Absolutely. I totally agree on that. I would really hope that we can stay connected and really get more things to done and yeah, exchange more ideas and yeah, just talk. That's awesome.
You're awesome. Thank you so much.
I just want to say, if you want to see the links from Kristy, I'm going to leave all the links there, and you're going to see the Facebook, the Instagram. Go there, subscribe if you like it. She has not so much content because she is not a profi, but she likes more to write than to film. Maybe she's going to start to make more videos. I know that she has a lots of videos, but I think she have to put more for all of us because she is a fantastic writer and everybody knows it. I want to say thank you to Mel. Next week we're going to have Vanessa here. Is another one-wheel rider. Please don't forget you to come and see her, support her. I think that is going to be beautiful, all of you. And don't forget, tomorrow we're going to have the German interviews for all you guys in English. Always Mondays is German interview, every Monday. And for tonight we're going to have Jens from Switzerland, Sweden, and he's a guy who works for BioBoard. Then, if you want, please, 9 o'clock of the evening in Paris time, come and see us. And I wish you, all of you, a fantastic day. For you, good morning. For us is good afternoon, and for you guys all around the world, maybe good night. And we see us very soon. Thank you very much.
Bye.
And we